You've triggered my trap card, the Magical Hats. In this series, myself and 3 of the top Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamers will give their unfiltered, uncensored, and uninformed takes on some of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s most pressing issues. The catch? One of these 4 has a fake take, and it's up to the rest to find the liar. It's time to play Magical Hats.
Easy clap.
And welcome back to another episode of Magical Hats. Oh! Are you all wearing the same shirts as last time?
You are too bozo?
Whole bozos here.
Smelly. I can smell you from here, and I can smell your takes as well. As you know, we're going to be talking about a hot topic in Yu-Gi-Oh! And someone here is going to be a lying liar. Today we are discussing, should the OCG and the TCG merge into one beautiful, unified format?
Globalism. Of course, he'd push this in his agenda in his YouTube channel. The globalist Joseph Rothschild. Well, it's Gage up first, right? No, Kevin, sorry. Hello?
Oh, do you want me to just talk?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay. I thought there was more to that intro, but okay. Okay, so my opinion on this is I find it interesting that the prompt is about TCG and OCG without considering Master Duel, because I feel like if the answer was yes, you would throw in Master Duel in there as well. My personal opinion is no, for multiple reasons. And one thing that I will start by saying, I hate the Worlds format that unifies both with like the combined ban list. I think that format is like completely ass for Worlds, and I think it's really ridiculous. But I don't think that they should merge the TCG and OCG just because of the simple idea that they're, relatively different games in the same way that Master Duel is different than the TCG and the OCG. In the OCG, they get product a lot earlier, and if we don't even consider that they would potentially release the product at the same time in the TCG as they do in the OCG, I think OCG players enjoy playing in their format more with their like current ban list and all that stuff more than the TCG players would enjoy playing with the OCG ban list. And I think TCG players enjoy having that early access to cards, early access as in like knowing what the cards are going to be coming out in 2, 3, 4 months so that we can start labbing ahead of time. And I think the games being kind of not unified allows for the best of both worlds, where the OCG players who like their format get to keep playing in that format, and the TCG players who like to play the way that they currently do get to keep doing that in the TCG.
Let me be clear. If you like your format, you can keep it.
Yeah, I'll never forget the 2018, I think, World Champion saying that if he had to choose between playing OCG and TCG, he would pick the one without Maxi. That's pretty interesting. So I think in a completely very super hyper-specific ideal world, yeah, I think OCG, TCG should be the same, but there is now at this point like a 10-year split between imports, product release cycles, forbidden limited list. The regions have diverged so far away from each other. They would probably have to spend like the whole of next year like damage control turbo releasing product that can coincide with both regions to bring both card pools together while simultaneously lining up all of the forbidden limited lists together slowly over the course of the next like year or two. And I don't really trust anyone capable to meticulously put that puzzle together. I don't think it's a simple task. And I think regardless of even like the technicalities and all this stuff, I don't know if it really needs it. What would really be the benefit in merging everything together? I think regional differences are actually kind of cool, and I find it interesting to learn about how they play their game and how they've like develop their meta with new product, and then we see the differences with how we develop our pro. I mean, Branded, I think, was one of the best differences. They played Branded over there on release very differently to how we did. Caveating that with the fact that, as well, that our Forbidden Limited lists are very different, and we've been playing such different games, and culturally we've been building such different decks between regions. Even you see this at the Worlds level. I just don't see what the benefit would really be long term.
Well, I guess I'm the only idiot here who thinks that they should. I think that they should come together in the name of harmony and peace. Let's put the past aside. Sorry that we figured out how to Hunter loop so effectively.
Did they not do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I really think that it is a huge disservice to Yu-Gi-Oh! That the OCG and the TCG are 2 different things. Firstly, the fact that it's just a different game means that you know, the fact that Maxi is legal one place and not another is obviously a huge detriment to people who want to cross over or experiment into the other format into a position where, like, there are just, like, OCG players and TCG players, right? Not like Yu-Gi-Oh players who can specialize in whatever. And we always get our ass beat at Worlds, which sucks too. I really dislike that the release schedule is staggered. I think that it has removed a significant amount of really cool deck building from the TCG that we basically get like a preview of 6 months of gameplay before we even touch any of the cards that are dominating. Like, sure, we can make improvements on decks, like we did, like radically change how people play Branded, but you know, we have a pretty good ballpark idea of what's good and, you know, how at minimum we can play a decent day one build long before we ever see the first piece of cardboard. I do think that it would be a lot of work getting the ban list under control, but I think the benefit is not only TCG players get to tinker with stuff and have dialogue with OCG players while they're doing so, but also Worlds becomes like a real event instead of this like terrible amalgamation of two completely separate lists that's dominated by like frequently the deck that got hit the least.
I gotta go with Nadir. I think in an ideal world fairy tale land, they would both be together because that just makes sense. And like our release schedules would be the same. You know why? Because it just makes sense. But this game doesn't make sense. Clearly, that's the way we've been. I just the way like it's just like you can't even defend it because there's cards that we've had released in the OCG and before they've even come to the TCG, they were forbidden, like Machiura the Destructor and Temple of Kings. I know those are like poor examples because they're really broken cards, but think of the power level of cards that we've seen today. Like it's really like not that like far-fetched to think like they might release a card. Like you remember when people were like freaking out over the adventure package and then they got limited over in the OCG and stuff like that. Like it's not really that out of the realm of possibility to print a card that needs immediate attention. I think, like I said, like in the ideal world, like they'd be together because it makes sense. But as the way the game has just gone, like now, the game has been fundamentally different in both regions.
Can you clarify what you said about the Brave engine? Because I feel like I didn't quite understand what you said there. In TCG, the Brave engine hasn't been as good, or at least not as good to like be hit.
On the OCG, but that's what I'm saying. Like in the OCG, they felt like it was good enough to get hit already, and I felt like that was like I don't know exactly how long it was at 3 in the game over there. If they would have put those implementations like into the game by the time we got them to the TCG, I think by that time they would have already been restricted here in TCG land. What I'm trying to say is like when cards get released, it's not like out of the realm of possibility for them to get hit like almost right away.
I mean, Tier Limit's a good example of that, right? How long did they have Tier? And like they hit it on multiple ban lists, and we went from full power Tier to hey, everything's at 1.
What was it? Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster got banned or limited on release here.
Rooster's another one. Yeah, Rooster was I think it was here for like a solid 2 weeks or something. It got limited. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I don't think that's like a bad thing. Even in Master Duel, players are complaining that like, oh, we have starter at 2 off rip, or the adventure engine was limited off rip.
Kevin, you don't think it's bad to pull like a banned card or something, or like a limited card from your product?
Like, I look at it as the OCG is the beta test, the TCG is like full release. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's like a bad way to look at the game.
Good to know that we're playing the Sigma format. Thanks for clarifying.
You can patch those problems in like a video game, though. You can't patch those problems in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to erratic card, and
you can patch the problem by limiting, like Rooster being limited on release. That's basically a patch note. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, this is all assisted by just simultaneous release, though, right? Like if we have that, all this discussion just goes away.
Yeah, if we have I think it actually comes down to if like we have simultaneous release, this entire discussion is completely different than what we're doing it at now.
Well, no, because we have different ban lists, so we won't have cards be released banned.
Like, if it's unified, then we wouldn't be having this discussion because there would be no beta test. The beta test would be when the cards release and then wait for a ban list if the format is unplayably broken. And you can also see that same sort of line of thinking when the OCG takes 3 ban lists to like destroy Tier Limit, whereas in the TCG it went from full power to everything immediately limited. So we have that knowledge, and I think that allows the TCG to thrive and to be a format that people like for it to be without having to go through multiple ban lists of being disappointed.
Multiple disappointments.
I mean, with the exception of Firewall Dragon, which is like a whole other story.
So what's everybody's What's everybody's stance at the moment?
On off rip, I think it's not Joseph. I think that's a very MBT take there that Joseph is producing here. I feel as though it is either Farfa or Gage, and I'm leaning a bit more towards Gage because I feel like Gage is the kind of person that the moment something can be like a hype event, like yo, Worlds is actually hype rather than being not hype, I feel like Gage would be 1 billion% on board with that and go towards whatever would get us to that point. Any defense, Gage?
I think it would be cool to have a Worlds format, but at the end of the day, I'm a realist, and you know what? I think the game's fine where they're at with the split ban list.
Kevin's being a bit pushy. Ooh.
He is being a bit pushy, but I don't know. I don't know.
This is quite hard.
That's classic Kevin, though.
I think I have a guess. I think I have a guess here.
No, nobody's got anything else to throw around here. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out who it is.
I'm trying to think of a question to like throw out to like everyone.
I can't
that
think
would,
of
like,
one though because like
help
everyone's
this.
takes are pretty defensible. I don't
They're
know.
pretty normal, yeah.
It's a very gray area. I don't think there's like a correct answer for something like this. There really just isn't. It is such a complicated subject.
Wait, no, I have the question. Farfa, Max C, what 0 or 3?
In TCG?
And just in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, that's a very different question. I mean, probably I'd say mostly no.
Okay, Joseph.
You really at 0?
Okay, Gage.
0.
There you go. No one wants to play OCG format. Okay, solved. Solved. No
wait,
one wants to play
here's-
OCG format. Confirmed.
Take your merger elsewhere, Joseph. You're not tricking us with your globalist agenda.
Here's the real question. Who gets custody of Master Duel?
I mean, Master Duel is a whole other thing. I don't think it's OCG or TCG.
We have a WWE ladder match. Custody of Master Duel.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
ready?
I think I have my guess. I just need to actually go get a piece of paper because I just don't have it. One sec.
Oh, I'm using both sides of my hands.
Oh, I'm gonna be. Man, I don't even know. I'm just gonna write this down.
Sounds like Gage with his progression list.
3, 2, 1.
I am the imposter.
What?
Ah, damn it.
I wrote Gage.
I wrote Joseph
I wrote
again.
Gage, too.
Why
You
me?
God.
Stupid idiot.
I wrote
Wait.
Kevin.
Nadir, what is your actual take then?
Oh, I completely was lying out my ass. This game should absolutely be one game. What the hell is that? I want to play with the cards as well. I want a deck build.
God.
I don't want to go on Road of the King and then just Google
Yes!
like the decks and then just copy paste. I hate that. I want to like play with the cool shit. Dude, do you know how frustrating
Yes!
it is being a content creator, going on YGO.org, seeing that there's a new card and then just sitting there like, oh, I can't play with this for 6 months. I hate that. Like, of course, like, this game should be one game. Holy cow, I was lying out my ass, dude.
Man, that's I was saying. Like in a perfect world, it's like awesome. That would make sense. But no,
Dude,
like
I don't-
think you
like,
said the word,
perfect
it's like,
world-
it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, dude.
You're like,
dude.
move the
So
fucking
wait,
mountains.
it's
Let's
So
literally-
go.
am I the only one that feels as though like it's kind of cool that the OCG is just a beta test for the TCG?
Yes, fuck you.
I want to beta test. I want to beta test. It's interesting.
The Konami employee speaks out.
Shut
Today
up!
on
That's not what I
Magical
am. Stop saying that.
Hat. Everyone sign up for the Challenger Cup. All right, see you all next time.
Bye.